Welcome to Car Con Carne. I'm in the car right now, but this episode was not recorded in the car. The episode was recorded live on stage in front of actual people at Legit Dogs and Ice, the new location, the newly reopened Legit Dogs and Ice. And that's what you're about to hear and see. I just wanted to say, heading into this episode, on stage that night when we recorded this, it was East Moon, it was Chris Pienta, it was Joseph Christopher, and the Ricky Liontones review. Due to technical difficulties, the content from Ricky Liontones, the interview, the onstage performance, are lost to the ages. So we will not be enjoying Ricky Liontones, who is so good. He just blew the roof off. We will not be hearing or seeing Ricky Liontones in this episode. My goal, my plan, my hope is to reconnect with Ricky at some point this year and have a do-over with him in the car. So thanks to those who came out and saw Ricky Liontones. He is not part of this episode through the awful machinations of technology and the use thereof. Anyway, welcome to the show.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
What this is a podcast. My name is James Van Alstyne. This is for the Car Con Carne podcast that I normally do in my car, but the fact that I could do it inside this awesome new kick-ass location of Legit Dogs means we're doing it right here on stage with you tonight. So what you're going to get tonight, you're going to get performances, musical performances, you're going to get live stand-up, you're going to get interviews. It's like a podcast. It is a podcast, and it's all happening right here. I should mention Car Con Carne is a Q101 podcast. So I started this podcast for those who are new, who haven't been here, who don't know what Car Con Carne is. I started this 11 years ago, and I knew 11 years ago, if I put the time in, if I worked hard enough, someday I'd be able to fill, at least to half capacity, a hot dog joint. I've made it. Thank you. I've arrived. Car Con Carne is sponsored by Easy Automation, easy-automation.net. Transform your living space with cutting-edge home automation. Experience seamless control over audio, video, lighting, climate, security, and more. Embrace the future of smart living. It's your home, your rules, motherfucker. Get a quote by visiting easy-automation.net or give my guy Dan a call at 630-730-3728. Car Con Carne also sponsored by 90 Days in the 90s, a rock and roll time travel story, the ultimate novel about the 1990s in Chicago's music scene. Has anyone in this room ever wanted to go back in time and maybe have a do-over over this? That's kind of what this book is about. Darby in the book is a record store owner, and she's able to go back in time to the 90s in Chicago and maybe right some of the wrongs. And the big question is, does she stay in the 90s? Would you stay in the 90s? Yep. Our first guest says yes, emphatically yes.
Yes.
And that said, I think we're ready. Are you ready? Our first guest tonight on stage here at Legit Dogs and Ice is a post-hardcore, post-emo-core band whose new EP, Homage, builds on what they established with their last release, End Transmission. Their first appearance on Car Con Carne was a year ago this week. Damn. And I'm psyched that they agreed to be here tonight. Please welcome East Moon. The whole band is here sharing one or two mics. I think you're just here for visual, for appearance's sake.
Yeah, we got an extra one here.
Okay, good. Santi's got a mic.
In fact.
So since the last time you were on Car Con Carne, East Moon, I've seen you twice. I saw you at G-Man, and I saw you open up for Sparta at the Bottom Lounge.
Yes.
And has anyone seen them outside of this room? Okay, see them in a full set. They're so great. I took my college roommate to see them at G-Man, and he's not from Chicago. And the first thing he said when we left G-Man was, I can't believe you can walk into a bar in Chicago on a weeknight and see a band that good just walking in off the street.
That's an honor to hear. Thank you. Thank you. You know, it took a lot of hard work and practice. Like a lot of us, we've known each other for like 15, 20 years or more. I've known Tony since I was in high school, and I'm not going to
Tony Casanova.
Antonio Casanova. That's his real name. For those who weren't aware that people could actually be named Antonio Casanova, that's your proof right there.
So we will have food coming out. For those new to the podcast, we usually eat food as we do interviews in my car. It's a dumb concept, but I've done it for 11 years. But we're going to eat food on stage. You've already pre-ordered stuff. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I didn't want to die on stage by eating with every guest. Like, I had to find the thing on the menu that was least likely to spike my blood pressure.
So, if I'm being honest, I'm kind of confused because it's legit dogs and ice, so I thought this was a hot dog eating competition.
I went with the
lost.
legit classic, which is just a Chicago dog,
All right.
which for this menu is like the heart healthy section of the menu. And this is just like the launch menu. They're going to keep adding to this. It's bananas. If you haven't been to Legit Dogs, the food is extraordinary. It is elevated stoner food, really.
And the ambience is very nice as well, and so are all the people that are here hanging out with all of us.
Look at him doing crowd work. We're doing an interview. Jacob's doing crowd work. That is fantastic. So the new EP is Homage, 1 year after the last EP. Were these done in a home studio? Is that what I was looking at?
No, so I sent you some demos. Those were DIY, but these albums that we recorded I guess the last EP and Transmission and Homage were both recorded with Sam Henderson. He's called Recording with Sam, but him and his twin brother, they both were running out of ABG recording studios. And they've recorded bands such as Real Friends, Knuckle Puck. I could probably keep name dropping, but I'm not going to do that. But basically, they're people that we've also... We like to work... We're loyal people. So, again, those are also people we've gone back with for, about 15 years or so. So we like to consistently work with... In fact, we just shot another music video with the same person that did our Deaf Ears music video. So we're those types of people that are like, all right,
and
we're all
Deaf
in
Ears,
this
for
together.
those who are here, that was that was the second
that was the
song they
second
played.
song that we played.
That song, do you agree, the second song, Deaf Ears, that is one of the hookiest, catchiest songs you'll hear all year. Oh, my God.
Thank you.
I can't shake that one.
Thank you.
But you mentioned NWA.
Yeah.
And MA.
I can't do that. My hand's messed up.
How's this for Line of the Year? This is a lyric from East Moon. I don't wish death upon anyone ever, but if I never see you again, life would be so much better.
Yeah.
That's it.
how I feel sometimes, Sometimes if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say anything at all, but I don't really follow that. I will tell people straight to their face that I dislike them because some people need to hear it,
So the video's done. When do we get to see it?
Honestly, we're waiting for the first draft, which, let me check my phone. Maybe we got it already. No, not yet. Not yet.
That's what they came here for. Watch you scroll through your phone.
Yeah, sorry.
Alter Ego is on this new EP.
Yes.
I love it. We saw it. Is this about relationship issues?
Oh, no. Alter Ego is really, it's about kind of identity crisis. There's times in your life where you're growing up and you think you know who you are, and then maybe you start to second guess yourself, or sometimes something happens and you're like, maybe I should change you just kind of go through these crises. I think everybody goes through those things. So that's pretty much what Alter Ego is about. It's about kind of connecting your past, present, and future and all the things you've learned and just continually shaping yourself.
So the line, I lost you once before, I lost myself, and you're the reason why, you're actually talking to yourself.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
So again, the new EP, it is available for streaming enjoyment. Now it is called Homage, the previous EP, and Transmission. You should just put these out every year. Is that the plan? New EP every year?
I mean, to be honest,
that's the cadence you're in right now.
To be honest, it's almost like a season, I guess, for us. Where like, okay, now it's time. Like, we want to start putting some new music together. I think we started in like December or so. Yeah. I mean, you guys got mics too.
Yeah, we started writing the new EP in November, and finished writing in December. But I think for us the goal is to probably, what I'm thinking, what the band is thinking, maybe come out with come out with new music maybe every 6 months or so.
That's Matt, owner of Legit Dogs and Ice. Thank you, Matt, for opening this awesome. Matt and son.
Matt and son.
Are you really
Come on.
lobbying to be part of Riot Fest? I didn't know you could actually do that.
Yeah. So the thing with Riot Fest is we were offered 2 Riot Fest Presents shows. They both fell through for whatever
They
reason.
fell through.
No fault of ours. One artist canceled, so we were dropped. The other ones, they asked us and didn't know that the artist already picked the opener, so it was kind of a premature. So now we're just kind of like, well, you know,
They owe you at this
third
point.
time's a charm.
Yeah.
Can we just play the real fest? How about that? So
You wouldn't mind going on at 11 a.m., right?
yeah, I'd go on at 10 a.m. To be honest, we go, just about all of us go every year, so it's one of those things where might as well.
One more time for East Moon. My guest is the last guest I had on Car Con Carne before COVID locked us all down.
Yep.
So it's been 5 years since I've shared any space with him. 5 years since I've seen him in person. He's an incredible artist and painter. He has an incredible eye for how to make rock stars and well-known figures really come to life in a unique way. Please welcome Chris Pienta.
How you doing? Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us.
Now this is where it really pays off to watch the video instead of listen to the audio, because you brought stuff for show and tell tonight.
I did.
You actually brought your paintings.
I did. I brought
These are
some
all
live
originals.
stuff.
These aren't prints. These
All
are all
originals.
originals on stage.
Yes.
Can you all see what's on the stage?
Yeah, I'll get up. We'll move stuff around if I need to. Not a problem.
So directly over your right shoulder, I see, is that Salvador Dali?
Yes, that is. Yes, that is.
Hold that up. That
I
looks
would-
pretty
I would
freaking
love
great.
to hold that up. So let's start with this guy.
I just gravitated toward the weirdest person you represented.
I love your style, brother. I love your style.
I love it.
Yeah.
So now, this isn't just a literal painting of a famous person, because you give thought to what's in the background. You give thought to the colors and the design work. Talk a little bit about this piece.
I like to try to sneak little things in there. I do like to try to put my personal touch on everything. As you know, Dali's one of those guys. Everybody paints him, so you got to make it your own. You know what I mean? So for me, personally, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I'll give you a little hint in here, a little secret. It's a sexy Dali.
Sexy Dali.
If you pay attention, originally this painting was a woman.
Wait, I see boobs.
There was a woman here, and I was like, I wasn't feeling it. But we put Dali over it, and as I was going, I was like, you know what? It fits. So now it's sexy Dali. You
Sexy
know?
with natural, wonderful breasts.
Natural, wonderful breasts on Dali. So
Sexy Dali.
You know, you got to make it sexy.
That's why you came here tonight.
That's why you came here tonight. to
All
make
right,
it
what else did
sexy.
you bring for show and tell? Chris Pienta, artist.
Thank you. Yeah, I enjoy myself. So yeah, no, we got a whole bunch of stuff here. I'll show you guys. My whole thing is I love to do icons, obviously, making them your own. But I mean, there's so many different ways to go about it. So you try to put things together for me that like you would never have seen before. So this would be a tale of two Jims. I call this one, little Jimmy and Jimmy. And because of this, honestly, this one means a lot to me too. I just had my first child. And
He
his
just
name
had his
is
first child.
Logan.
He just had his first
Thank you,
child.
Thank you. Logan Hendrix Pienta. So Hendrix is a huge inspiration of mine. So now we get to call him little LP.
So did you grow up a classic rock kid? I mean, I guess that's kind of a Midwestern thing for people of a certain age,
You know,
right?
I did, but it was mainly because of my old man. You know, my parents. They were all classic rock guys. I was that kid, even in
Were
the
they
80s.
listening to like the Loop in the
Dick
car
Biondi.
radio or
It was
Dick Biondi? Okay.
It was all Dick. It was that stuff. It was from then on, and that was when the oldies played actual oldies. Now I hear the oldies and it's Pearl Jam, and I feel like I'm a grandpa.
You see,
so.
kids, radio is this thing that used to be found in car dashboards, and people would listen to them, and they had no control over what they listened to. Music, speech, commercials. It was
It was a
what a
free for all.
stupid medium.
It was a free for all.
It was a free-for-all.
It was a free for all.
Yeah, bring over the food. Chris Pienta requested some food. Chris requested the what did you request?
Goomba.
The Goomba fries.
Being from the south side of Chicago, I figured the only thing I could order on this menu was the Goomba fries.
Just in case, water. Excellent. So Chris is going to eat incredibly messy food. Is there no silverware as he manhandles his paintings?
I'm just gonna dive in, man. I'm just gonna dive in.
Did I read this correctly? You co-own a studio now?
So, this is a big thing for me. I appreciate you letting me on because for the last year and a half, having the kid and stepping back from the art scene, this is kind of like my whole I'm back thing. So when we started the gallery, people have always asked me, like, where can I buy your stuff besides originals? So what we did was my beautiful wife right here, Migdalia, who started the gallery named Mig's Gallery. We set it up so you can buy my originals, but also we hooked up with Redbubble. And you can put any one of my images on anything you want. You can buy phone cases, pillows, jackets, shirts, you name it. So we open it up to everybody. I know everybody likes to feel special, and everybody likes those one-on-ones and things like that. But, you want to get it out there. I want to see my shirts walking down the street. So
where's the gallery? And what
gallery,
is it?
it's called Mixed Gallery. It's online. It's an online gallery.
Got it.
So, and it's a community where we're looking for all artists of any kind of artists, writers, musicians, painters, you name it. We want to bring everybody in. For me, it was tough to get back out there. Like, once you dropped out of the scene, a lot of people weren't answering anymore, I was kind of at that point where I was like, man, I wasn't hot. I wasn't the hot guy anymore,
Well, and I'm sure if there are local musicians here, and there are, they can relate.
Exactly.
It's always, what have you done for me lately?
Exactly. It's not what you've done, what have you done for me lately? So
it's the same with podcasting. If I stop doing this for 6 months, good luck.
You're gone. Yeah. It's rough. It's a rough time to be in this situation because it's so easy for everybody to be out there. There's 1,010,000 artists, and they're all amazing. But what we did was we took the effort. Like, I was like, you know what? Nobody's answering my calls. We're going to make our own gallery. We're going to make our own community. Everybody can come in, and we're going to help everybody out. It's not about me. It's about us. It's a whole big thing for me.
I love it.
That's what we're about. You know what I mean? So that's right. That's what it's about. If it wasn't for all of us together, nobody'd be here. You know what I mean? So.
Now, I was surprised to learn tonight that you have a wife. I just assumed Ricky Liontones was your life partner.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying we ain't got nothing on the side. Oh, wait, what?
You and Ricky are good friends. You did the cover for his most recent album.
I did the cover. I did some single album
Deja
cover
Evolution.
art. Deja Evolution, one of the best albums out there. If you guys haven't heard it, you better go get it. Oh yeah, this is the album cover art. You also can get merch with it over here at this little booth right there. He's also the godfather of Logan Hendricks. Just a heads up on that.
And you're working on a kid's book, or you did a kid's book?
Now, with her, she's an amazing author. She already has one book out called Healing Pains, which she can make emotion and put motion in words. I can't do it. I don't know. She's an amazing writer. She's an author. She's writing a book right now. It's a children's book, and I'm illustrating the book for her. So that's the next step we're doing, trying to get a little bit of everything.
Adulthood's crazy, isn't it?
It's
You're doing
crazy.
things you
I would have never
imagined.
thought I was going to do a kid's book.
Nope.
Last time I talked to you, trust me, it was the last thing I was thinking about. And now I'm loving every second of it.
Yeah, last time I saw you, we were drinking Lagunitas.
Yeah, it was Lagunitas curating. We were up till 3 a.m, and now it's like, man, it's getting late already right now.
Oh yeah, when I get to 10 o'clock on a weeknight, I'm like, what am I doing here?
It's crazy, man.
Like it's crazy that we're all up on a school night tonight here at Legit Dogs and Ice.
Babysitters and things now. This is just
Oh yeah,
a
that
whole
stuff
nother
adds
level.
up, especially because of the baby tariff. Babysitters now cost $100 an hour.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Thank God we got Mama Pienta at home right now. So.
All right, what else did you bring, Chris Pienta, artist?
We got a bunch of random stuff I did. Some stuff is icons, some stuff is what I feel, some stuff I just see something and I'm like, I want to put it on a canvas. So you got Smoker Girl, you got icons in Chicago, you got Bill Murray, which is one of my absolute
I
favorites.
can't see it. Oh, nice. Bill Murray.
Gotta love Bill Murray. We did the...
And the choice of frame matters too, right? Like,
oh, definitely. If I'm doing a frame piece, something like this, iconic like that, you want to go big or go home. So I love that. One thing I did do was I brought you a little something as usual. So let's hope you're a Keith Richards fan.
who doesn't love Keith Richards?
You get a Keith.
Oh,
you
look
get
at
a
that.
Keith to take home, James. You get a Keith.
That's amazing. I love it. Thank you.
Gotta love Stones, hands down my favorite band on the planet. So I got to give it to one of the award-winning podcasters here.
Thank
my
you.
man, James. And then for tonight, when I found out about this punk bar and everything, I figured I would throw something together specifically for tonight. So I haven't posted it or shown anybody this one yet. So we'll throw it
There's
out
actually
real quick.
a drape over this piece of
I had
artwork.
to keep it classy, man.
Here we go.
Here we go. It's a big
This is the big reveal.
Iggy Pop.
Oh, Iggy Pop. Oh, that's great.
So we'll get back up here. Yeah, we'll get back up here. Hold on.
Oh, that is great. I should mention, here's the tie-in to Legit Dogs and Ice. They do have an item on the menu called Some Weird Sin after the song by Iggy Pop on the Lust for Life album. The sight of it all makes me sad and ill. That's what I want.
So
Some Weird
in here,
Sin.
I saw on the wall they had that Punk is Dead, or Punk is not dead, Punk is not dead, Punk's not dead. So that's the background. And also slipped in there is a little Lust for Life, which I'm loving that you called it. So everything hit
That
me
is
on
a
the head.
fantastic Iggy painting. Oh, my God.
Thank you.
I did not see Iggy Pop at Salt Shed last week. I've seen him before. In fact, Iggy Pop 1988, I'm a little bit older than some of you kids. Iggy Pop 1988 at Metro, still top 5 concert for me.
That's
Still
beautiful, man. I'm
Godfather
jealous.
of punk, one
I'm
of the
jealous.
greatest.
88, Iggy, you don't
I
get better,
can't
bro.
believe he still takes his shirt off.
I know, the man. I give him credit. Like he's got some cojones.
Like, the dude's pushing 80 and he's still
Crushing
going
it.
shirtless,
Crushing this,
doing
dude.
"I Want to Be Your Dog." on
I'm
stage.
40 and I don't want to take my shirt off.
Amazing. So this is all great stuff. I mean, my God, the Keith. I do love Keith. I mean,
brother, I appreciate you, man. It's a pleasure being here, dude.
Happy, Before They Make Me Run, love all those Stone songs.
You're right. Fucking
Yeah.
right, man.
Come on. Where can people see more of Chris Pienta, the artist?
So you can see me. We're going to be doing pop-up shows. I have a whole bunch of things coming up. There's a couple mural projects I'm working on down on the south side, which is great, which I will put out there on the links in here like that. You can check out Mix Gallery. Check out Chris Pienta Art on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Just the name's Chris Pienta. And anything else that we put out there, everything will be connected through the Instagram and the gallery and things like that. So follow along, please. And any artists of any kind, please jump on board. Hit me up. Feel free. We're all about making this community bigger. So let's do this.
Love it. Chris Pienta, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure.
Our next guest is a very funny stand-up comedian. Please welcome Joseph Christopher.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know you guys just mainly came here to hear music and stuff and talk to your friends. I get it. But one thing I can promise you, if this doesn't go well, it's going to be so much worse for me. You know, like I'll be in my car driving back home to Waukegan, which is bad enough, really. You know, and it'll be like 45 minutes into the ride, and I'll realize I'm not even listening to music. You know. But also I need to show you guys one other thing, you know, like this was my set, you know, like I took this seriously. I grew up listening to JVO, and like this was like David Letterman to me. I saw like children in here, and so like I immediately cut out these jokes right here, you know. But then I was like, no, it's after 9:30. We're in a place that sells alcohol. I'm gonna have fun, okay? We're going to put those right back in there. All right, but before I get to any jokes, I do feel like I have to say I am in my 40s. Yep. I feel like I have to say that because if I don't, everyone's just going to think I'm some kid that's been 15 for 25 years. You know, like some fairy godmother cast a spell on me and she's like, you'll always have a baby face and decades of disappointment in your eyes. You'll never age, just get fat. I am a fat guy. I've been fat my whole life. I think it's because growing up, my parents never taught me about nutrition. You know, like up until recently, I thought trans fats were just big girls in tight clothes. I'm a big fan. Big fan. But my name is Joseph Christopher. I grew up not too far from here in a place called McHenry. All right? I consider myself a generational Midwesterner because my mom also grew up in McHenry County, Illinois, and my dad grew up in Las Minas de Colorado, afuera de Sombrete, Zacatecas, which is in Kansas. No, I'm lying, obviously. I am biracial. My mom is American. My dad is Mexican. That's why when a lot of people see me, they're like, yeah, he's not really brown, but he's definitely less than white. It happens, guys. You know it happens. You know it does. But I grew up in a small town. I'm in my 40s. I'm single. I'm fat. I'm dating. When you're in your 40s and you're fat and dating, it means at this point, all of your standards are hygiene related. Yeah. My friends are like, you know, I just want a really cool chick with a good sense of humor. Not really. No. If they're in their 40s and they're single, there's a reason, you know. They're like, you know, I want a housewife in the kitchen and a porn star in the bedroom. And I'm like, I'll take a woman with a dentist. And honestly, that's negotiable right now, you know. If I'm being honest with you guys, you know. But I am single, I'm dating, I'm really into goth girls. But like lately I've been getting jealous when I see like scrawny hipster dudes with tall, voluptuous goth girlfriends. So I just pretend like they're lesbians. Because then I didn't even have a shot in the first place, you know? Because I love me some goth girls. My friends know this about me. They're always setting me up with different types. A few weeks back, my friend got me a blind date with the hippie goth. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the hippie goth, but she will spend like 10 minutes talking about the eroticism of blood play in the bedroom, and then you'll go to order and she's vegan. Yeah. And honestly, the blood play stuff was kind of hot, you know? I would have been into it. I've seen all the Twilight movies. I've read Anne Rice, you know? But the vegan stuff kind of bothered me, you know? And it was just because she was like one of those people that was mean and militant about it, you know? Like immediately after I ordered my food, almost if it was scripted, she looks at me, she gives me a dirty look. She's like, "Oh my God, that's terrible. Would you eat your own dog?" And I was like, "No, but I'd try yours." Not everyone laughed at that one. You know? This is the thing. These are jokes, guys. I have a dog. I love her very much, you know? I just don't like to talk about her too much because I feel like she's going to be, whenever I talk about her too much, I love her so much, I feel like someone's going to be like, "Oh, you're one of those people. You treat your dog like she's a kid." I don't treat my dog like she's a kid because she's better behaved than most children. Oh, I get it. We got a lot of parents here in the audience. Not the precious children, huh? You know? Look, I get it. Any one of your children could grow up to cure cancer or be the president. I'm just saying that right now my dog is a better person than your kid. Oh, still not everyone. Not the precious children. No. That's the thing, guys. Like, I don't know. We talk about the miracle of life, okay? We talk about the miracle of life, but then we only attribute it to human life. To me, the miracle of life is the fact that there was life on this planet at all. That millions of years ago, there was some puddle of primordial ooze and amino acids floating around in there. You know, and by some miracle, or God, if you will, lightning strikes the puddle and gives the amino acids the energy to self-replicate, creating RNA in the first single-cell organism on the planet. And what I'm saying is when that organism evolved to the point where it walked on land, it looked more like my dog than your kid. Thank you so much, guys. I'm Joseph Christopher. Follow Super Sorry Party on Instagram. I'm sorry I'm saying that as a 40-year-old man. I love you. Thank you.
Wait, stay right there. Joseph. I really hate the tables. Hey, grab a mic. Sorry, I hate the tables, so we're going to do this.
We don't need them. I'm going to stand up.
Is this mic live?
Check.
It's not like the mics have check marks, like right mic, wrong mic. That was great. I got sick of the tables. Like people, you're a stand-up. Let's stand up. Right?
Yeah. Of course. Let's go for it.
Very funny stuff. I didn't know there'd be science involved tonight.
Sorry about that.
I went to Columbia College, so I didn't have to think about that shit.
Yeah, all right.
So when did you start doing comedy?
Actually, like, I've had breaks and stuff because of COVID and everything, but I started, like, in 2013.
What lit the spark for you?
I mean, I was more interested in, like, sketch and stuff, you know, like SNL, Kids in the Hall, Mr. Show, The State. But as I got older, I enjoyed writing a lot more, and I always appreciated comedy and started writing comedy, but never thought I could do comedy. And then I heard Norm Macdonald on a podcast one time, probably my favorite comedian. I heard him say, you know, to the question, what would you tell a young person thinking about doing comedy? He said, "Stop thinking about it, just do it." So I just did it.
That's all. That's the best advice. There is something to the mindset of a comedian. I feel like stand-ups are so broken down. They're like when you came up here, you're like, "Oh, you could have just left the tables up. I could have worked around them. I'm used to working in shitty surroundings and difficult situations." Like, it's almost like you emerged from a Turkish prison. Like anything is going to be better than what you experienced on the road, dive bars, whatever.
That's all very true, you know, and it's because I don't know why we want to do this to ourselves or something, but we love comedy so much. Killing is very fun. It feels great, you know. And so we put ourselves through stuff like that to get that, you know, sweet juice. And we put ourselves through a lot, probably. But I think musicians do the exact same thing. Am I right?
Right.
All artists, I think, do that. Put themselves through a lot of shit to get their art out there, you know.
And would you agree, comedian Joseph Christopher here on stage at Legit Dogs and Ice? Sorry, I got the plug thing down. Would you agree that the hustle is kind of similar to what bands, like local bands like Eastman and Ricky Liontone's experience?
Absolutely. And that's something that I didn't feel like I started doing more until I felt like I was good up to my standards, you know. I just worked really hard on getting good, proficient, getting people's attention, even in a rough room where everyone's talking and you know, but yeah, I think I answered your question, I believe.
Yeah, you did. So this is a warm room. This is a friendly room. This is a receptive room. I'm sure you played rooms with people who just were implacable, arms folded across chest. You couldn't make it in. How do you navigate around that? Or do you just plow through?
Well, it depends on what the setting is, you know. If it's an open mic, you kind of just plow through. It's about getting your lines together and more about getting the jokes out there and getting it memorized and making it be able to be put a part of the act. But when you're at a show and you're dealing with that, well, then someone's paying you money, typically. And, you know, when you're at a show, someone's paying you money and the people are there essentially to be entertained. But sometimes a bad producer will put on a show and half of the people, the crowd, even more, don't even know there's a show going on. That's just where they go on their Friday or Saturday night to have some drinks.
So do people always expect you to be on?
On?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Maybe like strangers, if they find out I do comedy, but it's not something I like wear on my sleeve really. I don't think people expect me to always be on, and I'm not. You know, I'm not someone that's a high energy, always on person.
What is second best comedy?
Second Best Comedy is a production team I run with Big Al and Emilio Lopez. We kind of put on shows around the state line of Illinois and Wisconsin. We have venues right now in Rockford and Kenosha. Windsor Pizza Parlor, it's a show that's been running almost a decade. We have regulars that show up every month because I'm discerning about the lineups, you know, and then we also have a new horror-themed bar in Kenosha called the Final Girl Bar in Kenosha.
How did I not know this?
Yeah, it's great. And Kenosha's really like cool right now. Like I remember one time I go to a lot of music open nights too because you get more time and to work out the act. And I went into just a random music open mic in Kenosha on a Wednesday night, and like the band running it, Spirit Shakers out of Kenosha, shout out to them. They like are a whole band, like jam band with an MC frontman, and whole bands come to this open mic to perform on these 15-minute slots. Like local whole acts show up, and as a result, they had like 20 or 30 like young kids out there just enjoying the show, and I got to go up there and just do comedy for that, and that's Kenosha right now. I think Kenosha's really cool. They got a cool scene going on right now.
Well, I've thought this about Kenosha and Waukegan, where you're from. These are lakefront properties. They're just an influx of money or interest away from becoming really kick-ass towns.
I believe that too. Yeah, I think Waukegan has great potential, and there are people around there trying to do more things. But I'll be honest, when I moved there and I'm looking for like open mics to work out my stuff and stay sharp, I had a hard time finding anything around in that area in Lake County, even. Which is why I started going to Kenosha more, and Racine.
All right, one more time. Joseph Christopher, everybody.
Thank you.
So, as mentioned, technical difficulties prevented Ricky Liontones from being included, but this is where his interview would have been included. Thanks to Ricky, especially for understanding. He was so good on stage, and like I said, I will do my best to make it up to him and do an interview with him right here in the car. Thanks to my guests for this episode. Thanks to East Moon, Joseph Christopher, and Chris Pienta. Thanks also to Legit Dogs and Ice for hosting this whole thing, for taking a shot on doing something like this podcast on stage at their place. Coming up, I'll be doing another live event at Legit Dogs and Ice. This one's happening on Thursday, May 15th. Booking is underway. Details to come In any event, thank you for watching. And don't forget, Car Con Carne now has its own merch store at last. You can get to it from carconcarne.com, or you can go direct to carconcarne.threadless.com.